Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. Welcome to Dawn of the Bread. Now I've been requested to show how I step by step make my own sourdough bread. So here we go. It's the night before and I'm going to feed my sourdough starter. Now the recipe I use is 100 grams of sourdough starter, 450 grams of strong white bread flour, 300 grams of filtered water, I like to use cool water, and 10 grams of salt. Now I will be putting the recipe in the description box, but it's the night before and I'm going to feed my starter, and then come tomorrow morning we're going to start making the dough and go from there. Now this is where I keep my sourdough starter in. I started this myself. If you want to learn how to make sourdough starter, I will, if interested, pop a link in the bottom to where I learned it. It's from a brilliant guy. He goes by Grant Bakes and he does everything sourdough. He's like a sourdough wizard. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I made my own starter. And I use the no discard method, so I don't have to keep dumping out starter and I've got it here, there and everywhere. This is all the starter I have in my jar. There's roughly about 30 grams, something like that in there. So by the time I feed it, we need 100 grams of starter. Now starter is usually 100% hydration, so it's equal parts flour and water. I need 100 grams of starter, so I'm going to feed this 50 grams of water and 50 grams of starter, and then come tomorrow morning that will have doubled in size, bubbly and active. I use my 100 grams, and then when I do, I will be left with this all over again, and then this will go back in the fridge for when I'm ready to make more sourdough bread. Brilliant system, works absolutely flawless for me. So what we're going to do, zero the scale, weigh 50 grams of water straight into the starter, slowly, 50 grams. I take my spatula. I like to break down the starter in the water to begin with. Helps it combine a lot better when you add the flour in. Like so. I will zero the scale again. And here I have my strong white bread flour. And then I will feed it 50 grams of flour. Nearly there. Just a little bit more. Just tap it in. Tap it in. And there we go. And then that's 50 grams of each. Turn these scales off. Slide them out of the way for a moment. Take my spatula and mix it up. Now the consistency that I think it's like is a thick pancake batter, and I'll just mix it through until there's no big lumps of flour. It's all well incorporated. I like to use the scraper side of the spatula just to clean down the sides of the jar. Beautiful. And that is how I feed my sourdough starter. Just scrape it down. One more. And in she goes. Move that to one side, out of the way. Pop the lid on. Now my jar came with this band, so all I'm going to do is move the band to the height of the starter like so, and then come tomorrow morning I'll be able to tell it's doubled in size. It'll be roughly about here. Yeah, roughly about here. That's what it tends to be. So yeah, I'm going to pop that in my kitchen cupboard until tomorrow morning. It's just gone 12 o'clock at night, and let's say 8 hours. Yeah, about 8 hours is a sweet spot. So 8 o'clock, 8:30 in the morning, something like that. We're going to start mixing this dough. I'll see you then. And we're back, and it's the next morning. As you can see, my sourdough starter has doubled in size, beautiful, bubbly and active. I have weighed out 450 grams of strong white bread flour, 10 grams of salt. There's 100 grams of starter in there. My filtered water is here. Now, it's important to use filtered water because if you use regular old tap water, the chlorine can actually kill your sourdough starter, the yeast itself. So always make sure you use filtered water. So what I'm going to do first, pop my flour on here. I'm going to add my 10 grams of salt to my 450 grams of strong white bread flour and mix that through like so. Get it evenly distributed through the flour. Move that to one side and take your main mixing bowl and your spatula, and now we need to weigh out 100 grams of bubbly active sourdough starter. There you go. Beautiful stuff. Oh, that smell, it's like heaven. So 100 grams straight into the bowl. Oh, I'm at 101. I need to take it a little bit out. So just take your spatula, pick it up, and now we have exactly 100. Now what I like to do is, so I can get it on video for you, I'll scrape down my starter jar. Just like that. Come on, in you go, you little bugger. And that is what I'm left with. I get left with that each time. Now that's going to go in the fridge until I'm ready to make more bread, more sourdough bread, and I'll just feed it the same as I'm doing now. Right, now to the sourdough starter, we are going to add 300 grams of filtered water. Just pour it in. Now, what this sourdough recipe is a 70% hydration. And what does that mean? Well, the hydration means how much water is in the recipe. Perfect. Sourdough is 3 ingredients: water, flour, and salt. Nothing else. Doesn't need anything else. If you want to, you can add some fruit in there. You can do a seeded loaf with some whole wheat flour. You can add in, I don't know, 4% olive oil, which is like 20%, which is like 20 grams. So a bit of olive oil in there. I see people do different types of loaves using jalapeno peppers, cheddar cheese. You know, the possibilities really are endless, but today I'm going to show you the basic, simple loaf, and really it's so cost effective. I think it costs about £1 to make a sourdough loaf, so really, really good. Now, we don't need these scales anymore. Let's move those out of the way. Take your spatula, and as you can see, look, see how the starter is floating? Yeah, that's a good thing. It's another way of knowing that your starter's ready. I like to take my spatula and I like to break down the starter in the filtered water. Lovely jubbly. So I'll end up with this. It looks a little bit like milk. Move that out of the way. Take your flour and salt mixture, pour it straight in. And now we're going to use our trusted wooden spoon handle and bring it all together until all the flour gets picked up and the bowl is pretty much nice and clean. It don't take much. I'm going to finish it now with a bowl scraper. I like to just spin the actual handle as I do this, and it gets all that dough off. Perfect. And I'll finish it with a scraper now, just clean down that bowl. So every little bit of ingredient's important. Until you end up with this. Now this is what you call a shaggy, rugged dough. And that's what you're after. So all we've got to do now is, I'm going to put a shower cap over it, put your plastic wrap, your tea towel, whatever you've got at hand, straight over the bowl, and we're going to give it a 30-minute rest. Now the dough is going to have 3 30-minute rests, and after those 30-minute rests we're going to perform stretch and folds. Now the stretch and folds is going to make the dough smooth, it's going to make it elastic, it's going to build the gluten, and and by the end of it we'll have a really smooth dough. And all in all, sourdough needs a lot longer to rise than commercial yeast. So altogether this dough is going to have 5 hours. 5 hours of proving. It's going to have 3 lots of 30 minutes, followed by 3.5 hours. So we're going to do 30-minute stretch and fold, 30-minute stretch and fold, one more 30 minutes, one more little stretch and fold, and then it's going to go in the bowl to rise for 3.5 hours until it's doubled up, it's all puffy, it's ready to go, and then we'll go to the next step. So I'll see you at the first stretch and fold. And we're back. The dough has had its first 30-minute rest. So we're going to remove the cover, or in my case the shower cap, and here I have a bowl of filtered water. We're going to dab our fingers and our hand in the filtered water, and this will stop the dough from sticking to your fingers so much. You're going to take the dough, grab it, pick it up, fold it on itself, give the bowl a little turn, grab the dough, bring it up and fold it on itself. Feels a bit wet, just dab your hands in the water, grab the dough, bring it up, fold it on itself, and repeat until you feel the dough get tighter and tighter, and you can see it's already getting nice and smooth. Just keep it moving. And you can see it's starting to pick up from the bowl already, look at that. Lovely stuff. And this is going to help develop the gluten and give you a really nice smooth dough. And this, the first 30 minutes, I like to give it a little tighten before I stop. And that is the first load of stretch and folds done. I'm going to set the timer for the second 30 minutes, and then we'll do this all over again. Back in a moment. And the second 30 minutes has passed, and it's time for the second set of stretch and folds. Just like we did the first time, shower cap off, wet hands, grab the dough, put it up on itself, fold it back, spin the bowl slightly, grab it, pull it back, fold it on itself, and the more you do this, the less and less sticky the dough will actually become, and you'll get to a point where you'll be able to handle it without needing to put any water on your fingers. So it is nice. And yeah, round we go, and just continue to do this until the ball feels nice and tight. You know when it's ready because you'll feel a good amount of resistance on the dough. It won't want to stretch and look, and it'll just pick up from the bowl. So now I'll just do this, tuck it in on itself, make it nice and tight. I like to just cut like this, spin it, get my fingers under there, until you end up with something like this. Now that is going to rest for its last 30 minutes, and then we'll do the final stretch and fold. And after the 3.5 hour timer goes off, your dough will hopefully have doubled in size, just like this. And what we're going to do next is we're going to uncover the dough, like so, and tip it out onto the counter and do what's called a pre-shape. Now, you like to do the pre-shape first because it will make the final shaping so much easier when you shape your dough to go in your basket. Now, I have some oval Banneton baskets. I did used to have a big round one, but it's in better days. I had it for quite a long time, so I've only got oval ones now. Anyway, you want to take your dough and gently pop it onto the counter. I'm not going to add any flour at this point. I honestly don't think it needs it. Just like that. And what I like to do is fold it on itself, pick it up. See, it's not sticky. I'll cup it, spin it round, and I'll form it into a nice tight ball. You can use a bench scraper like this if it helps. Just go under it, scoop it, pull it back, spin it round, until you end up with a nice, tight, super airy ball. I can see all those air pockets in there. Finish off my finger, well, my hands I mean, my fingers under there. Get it nice and tight, just keep it moving until you end up with something that looks like this. Now I'll bring the camera down so you can have a closer look at all the fermentation. Look at all those bubbles. Absolutely beautiful. It's just where I want it. Press that back up here. Now this needs to rest for 30 minutes. Now I call it the 30-minute bench rest. And what this will do, it'll help the gluten relax. The top of the dough will form a gentle skin from the air rest, and the benefit of that is it will make the final shaping much easier, and also the skin itself it won't be as sticky. So it's not very sticky now, but it just gives you that extra little bit of cushion to work with as well. So I'll see you in 30 minutes. And now we are at our final shaping stage for the Banneton basket. This is the basket I'll be using. It's not a wicker basket. It's made out of pulp, recycled pulp. I've got a few of these in my cupboard, and they're absolutely brilliant. but you can use any oval Banneton basket that you have available, so don't worry about not having the exact same one I use. I'm going to be dusting the dough and the Banneton basket with this extra fine semolina. Brilliant stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is take our Banneton basket, take a bit of semolina, dust the base. You can be quite generous to this, and then pick up your Banneton basket and get up all the sides as well. Make sure you do up the sides of the walls of your Banneton. Don't have to go crazy. Trying to get it on video as best I can. There we go, all the way around. That's well dusted. And now for the final shaping. Take your bench scraper, gently pick up the dough and flip it over so it's upside down. Now, what I want you to do is when it's in this upside down position, you will notice after the 30-minute bench rest that your dough will spread out a little bit. That's fine, that's a good thing. That actually means that your gluten has relaxed. Your dough is nice and relaxed and it's ready for the final shaping. So, scoop up the dough, flip it upside down, grab the top and right corner and stretch out like so. Take the bottom left and right corner, stretch it out like so. So you end up with a sort of rectangle like this. Now take the left side of the dough, top corner, bottom corner, fold it in on itself to the middle like this, and then rest your hand on top, grab the top corner here and fold it over like so, then work your way down, grab it, fold it over on itself and on itself and on itself until you end up with this. And now we're going to do the roll. So starting at the point closest to you, grab the dough, fold it on itself, now begin to roll it up like a sausage, like this. Just keep it going and it will get tighter and tighter across the top. Now the reason why you want to roll it like this is because you want it to be tight on this part of the dough, because this is going to be the top of your loaf. And then when you get to this point, you want to push fingers in, pinch the sides shut. Don't worry if you're going to knock out you will knock out a little bit of air doing this step, but don't worry, because I'll show you with the next step you're going to get all that air back. So you're going to pinch the sides, make sure it's all neat and tidy. You don't want any open parts, and then you end up with something that looks like this. Now what I like to do is I'll dust the top of the dough with the semolina, make sure you get all the way around. So look, you can pick it up, that's fine. Don't panic if it's a little bit sticky, it's all part of it. Take your Banneton, now you're going to want to flip the dough upside down, because you're going to want it upside down in your Banneton, and gently rest it in, like this. Take a bit more of your flour. Now you don't have to use semolina, you can just use your regular bread flour? Yeah. Your regular bread flour, so don't panic if you haven't got any. Beautiful. Might seem a bit overkill, but we want it to come out nice and clean. And don't worry if you think you've overdusted it with flour when you're putting it in your Banneton basket, because when we tip it out tomorrow to bake, we can always take a pastry brush and brush off the excess. So anyway, take your shower cap or tea towel or plastic wrap, whatever you're going to use, and cover it up. Now what we're going to do to help give this a head start is we're going to leave it out at room temperature for 1 hour. Now this will give a little bit of a boost to the kickstart, to the fermentation again, to help it get a bit more volume. And then we're going to pop it in the fridge after that 1 hour has gone off. So I'll set that now. I'm going to pop it in the fridge, and you want to leave it in the fridge from Anywhere from 12 hours, but you can leave this for a couple of days in the fridge and it'll be absolutely fine. The loaf I baked the other day was in the fridge for just over 2 days. Baked it, absolutely delicious. So you don't have to panic about, oh no, I need to get it baked, I need to get it baked. So you can make it work around you when you do bread like this. So anyway, 1 hour, room temperature, give it a little head start, and then straight in the fridge, and anywhere from 12 to 48 hours, you'll be grand to bake it within that time frame. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow when this is at its overnight chill in the fridge, and we will get this baked. See you then. And it's the next day, and it's now time to bake the sourdough loaf. I've preheated my oven with my Dutch oven inside at 230 degrees Celsius. I set mine to 210 because it runs 20 degrees hotter. And the first thing I'm going to do is take the Dutch oven out of the oven. Well, hey, so if you want to follow me around here, this is where I keep mine. This is my Dutchie. That's up to temperature now. That's been in there for way over an hour. And while that's over there, we're going to get our dough out. We've got our sourdough bread sling here. A little bit of flour on top. I always use semolina. And then we take the cover off of the sourdough we made yesterday. This has been resting in the fridge overnight, and as you can see, it's grown very nicely. I like to dust the top with a little flour, just like so, and then on to the sling. Love the patterns from the baskets, always do. Now we're going to do the expansion score, and how we're going to do that is I'm going to do some stalks to begin with. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I always like to do one little one at the top as well. I think it just finishes it off. Perfect. And now we're going to do the long slash straight down, like so, from front to back. And I like to go at a slight angle. And this is going to open up and give us a beautiful ear on the loaf. Just make sure you go all the way through. And if you want to get that ear up a little bit more, get your blade, go slightly under where that cut is, look. Like so. Slightly under. Just open the score. Now, scoring is another term for slicing. Deeper, and that's it. Now that, I'll just put my gloves on. It's going to go in the Dutch oven and then in the oven for 25 minutes with the lid on. And then after 25 minutes, we're going to take off the lid. There's the Dutch chip temperature. I'm going to bring over the sourdough in the sling, grabbing the handles. Rest them in like so. Cover them up. Now, the benefits of a Dutch oven is the dough itself produces steam because of the moisture, and the steam is what helps with the oven spring. And that's where I did the score. So 25 minutes, set the timer. Where I did the score, it's going to open up at that point. And then you're going to get that nice ear, and then that's going to be where the expansion is, otherwise known as the oven spring. So I'll see you in 25 minutes, and then we'll take the lid off and we'll see the oven spring and brown it for 10. And that is the 25 minutes up. So what we're going to do now is the tray, remove the lid, and let's have a look at the oven spring. Oh, look at that ear. That's beautiful. Do you want to get around and have a quick peek, Tom, before I close it? Just smooth around you, sweetie. And now that needs to keep baking
for another 10 minutes until it's lovely and golden brown. Now you can bake it for an extra 5 minutes if you want it a bit darker, but 10 minutes is a sweet spot for me. Okay, and now the last 10 minutes is up and my loaf has had its last little bit of browning. Now if you want it a bit darker, as I said, you can give it an extra 5 minutes, but this is perfect for me. Open the oven slowly, let a bit of the heat out so you don't want to scald your face. And this is absolutely perfect for me. Look at that, beautiful crust, golden. It's not too dark for me, I don't like my loaves too dark. But that is absolutely lovely, and look at that ear. Anyway, pop that in your wire rack. It is recommended to let it completely cool before slicing because it can go a bit gummy inside if it's way too warm. Anyway, I will see you back soon for the slicing. And here we are at the end of this recipe, and the best part of all, slicing the bread. Got my bread knife, the loaf is nice and cool now, and we're going to listen to the crust as we cut through. And we're through. Here we go. Oh, bloody beautiful. So soft, so airy. And that is the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed this little bake along with me, and there will be many more videos coming soon. I'm planning on doing a couple of weeks, so if you like the video, please hit that like button and do subscribe and stick around and follow me on this journey. Until then, this is Dawn of the Bread, and I'll see you in the next video.